Alright, we got our typical size wahoo here. This is probably 40-45 pounds. We're going to clean it, but what I'd like to point out, first things first, there's the gaff mark. That's the most important thing. A properly gaffed wahoo makes it a lot easier to clean, plus it doesn't waste any meat. But what I like to do typically to start with is gut them, just so that you're not getting blood all over your meat. And we'll see what's in the stomach of this one. I understand that the guy that was fishing beside us yesterday cleaned one of his wahoo and dug our cedar plug out from his stomach cavity. So let's see what's in this one's gut cavity. Oh, nothing. And there's his heart. I just cut part of his heart off. Sliced it right off. Wahoo hearts, they're delicious to eat. But this is just so we don't have any blood on our fillets. Get all this out. Nothing in the stomach. Alright. Let's wash this off. Alright. And the first thing, we're going to go ahead and throw that heart away. First thing I like to do the right side first. Just out of habit. Make an incision across the tail and then come up and go all the way down to backbone. And it's important to have a nice sharp knife too. Go back in and find the backbone. And turn him around. From the bottom side, do the same thing. All the way till you hear the backbone. Turn him back over and go over, just over the backbone. Where I like to cut a little hole in my fillet, give you a finger hold to go up in. Come right behind the gills. Lots of good meat up in the head area. And there we have half of it. Alright, let's set this back off the cleaning table. Clean your table off, but do not get the fillet wet. All right. There's three things that never make it to my cooking area and daggone sure not to my table. That's bones, skin, and bloodline. Take this fillet that you got now, and this is where you want to pay attention to the rib carcasses here. Go up underneath the ribs. Cut just underneath them. That's where a good sharp knife comes into play, right there. Okay, we're not wasting any meat at all, very little if any, on that belly part. Throw that away. And you see the row of bones here starting right there. There's the first ones, and there's just a little row straight up and down of bones. Go on the outside of those bones. Cut all the way down to the skin, but not through it. And we'll talk about that in a second. Then come on the other side of the bones. You separated the bones off of the top loin. Now the bottom side here. Okay? And there are every one of the bones right there. Cut down to the skin, but not through it. And there you see, you got both sides cut down to the skin. Now that's where you need to take a fillet knife. Thank you, Ken Onion, for a nice Kershaw blade here, adjustable. Bring it on out. And according to my cameraman there, we said we need to bring it back down. So take your fillet knife and cut down to the skin, but not through it, and out. And yes, I'm not getting every morsel there against the skin, but I don't eat skin. However thick you like your pieces to go on the grill, or whatever you do. And you see that little bit of bloodline from the center there falls out. Just do this all the way up the fish. Now get into some nicer pieces up here at the top area. Look at that. That is beautiful meat. I love wahoo. That is such iridescent, clear meat. Matter of fact, let me move it a little closer to the edge of the table. My blade's not quite that long. Can you still see that? And just get your blade flat to the skin and go out. Take those bags here for me, if you will. Very little bloodline left on that. We can trim that up later when we get it nice and cold again. But for right now, we're just going to go ahead and put it into. and here starts your bones. But you see, zoom in on this if you will, Jimmy. You see this piece right here contains all the bones. That'll fall right out when we make the cut all the way down to the skin. Alright. Let's clean this up a little bit, move it down. Go ahead and fillet that piece off there. And there are all those bones. Cut this off. There are all those bones. Alright, that's the first. There you go. I think we got most of that wahoo. Do you think so? Nothing there but a little bit of bone. Yields pretty good.